All right, today I'm going to run through a little visual worksheet for you to help explain buying and selling in a seller's market. It's tougher to buy at the same time that you're selling because you can get a lot of money for your house and sell on your terms, but sellers are not as likely to accept a contingent offer, meaning they won't accept an offer where you say, I'll gladly buy your house next month, but I've got to make sure my house sells, otherwise I'll terminate my offer. Sellers don't need that typically in this market. So what we do is we preserve your rights to sell your home, meaning we have a contingency that says you can terminate the seller, you can terminate the sale of your home if you can't find a home you like. On top of that, we also will have a post-closing occupancy where you're staying in your house and renting it from the new buyer until you can move into your new home. So your rights are preserved, and you have somewhere to live, which are the two big concerns. So running through this, the requirements to make this whole process happen is you'd have to feel good about your options. It means we spent some time looking at houses, and we have a feeling that a house you would like will show up 2 to 4 times a month in the neighborhood, and that would give you a good shot at getting a house you would like to move into. And the way we accomplish that is talking, looking at houses, and kind of going over what your options look like and making sure they're a good fit before we start the selling process. Next, you'd want to be qualified. Make sure you talk to a lender. Make sure you understand what your equity out of your house and the current rates would look like for a payment for you so that the financial part of the move also makes sense for you. And then talk about home staging, getting your home ready to sell. Typically that's decluttering and getting stuff out of the way so your home feels pretty big and ready for a new buyer. We would also want to take photos, have the marketing completely ready to go so that when we decide to hit the market because a house you like just showed up or your options look really good, we would be ready to do that instantly. So now, having finished these, you're ready to list your home. This is a calendar to show you kind of what the 3 months going forward would look like, and I'll run through the calendar and your contingencies in an overview format here. So May 1st, you'd list your home for sale. A few days later, you have it under contract, and you would have accepted a contract that would give you a chance, the option to rent from the buyer post-closing here into July, as well as terminate the contract if you couldn't find a home to buy that you liked. This is preserving as much rights as you can possibly do and would allow the rest of this to happen relatively smoothly. So you're selling in this green column and the buyer's buying in this green column of your house. They would work through in 30 days the loan objection, all other contingencies. We would start shopping at this point over here as soon as basically your home is under contract. We'd want to start shopping. But we won't have any leverage in terms of getting a seller to accept your offer until we're writing non-contingent offers, or what I would say barely contingent offers. And but I mean barely contingent, it means your home over here is for sale, under contract. You work through all your due diligence and basically you're waiting to close. At that point, when you're buying in column 1, the seller of the home you're trying to buy will understand that the odds of this buyer not closing are tiny. If you were to move the close date up and continue to rent from the buyer, your contingencies or your offer would be even stronger. It'd be completely non-contingent. So this gives us some time, more time to shop, but really to be effective in the market about a month in. So let's say on May 22nd here, they're past their loan objection, you're barely contingent, you've written an offer, you get it accepted, you'd work through your inspection, you'd work through your loan. In an ideal world, you'd close and you'd be ready to move and stop renting from your buyer by June 19th in this scenario. So you've been able to take your equity out of this home, you've been able to stay in this home as long as you need it, and then move over, let's say this week, June 26. Let's say not every purchase is perfect and smooth. And let's say in this process here, inspection doesn't work out, the seller's not willing to do what's important to you, and you can't take the house as it is, or there's some other reason that it's just not the house for you during this contract process. We would terminate. and you can continue to write offers. Because you could be closed or almost closed, you're here into June 5th, you can still write a contingent or barely contingent offer, potentially non-contingent offer, and have from June 5th to June 26th or so here another 30 days to close on that home. At this point, you have closed on your existing home, but you're still renting as a renter from the person that bought your home. So you have somewhere to live. And even in this buying scenario too, closing on June 26th, you would still have another 2 to 3 weeks or more to move into this house, get your stuff out of your house that you sold, and then say, hey, buyer, we're closed, we're ready to get out of here, and you can have the house turned over to you now. So this is an overview of how this will unfold with, again, writing an offer or accepting an offer to sell your home with a contingency to terminate it and terminate the offer, and then also keeping a right to stay in the home after the closing. And this can be done. This takes the right buyer to do this, but they're out there, and this will give us a couple different scenarios for you to get the home you want purchased. So call with questions, text, email, whatever suits you. Thanks for watching. I'd love your feedback and always happy to answer questions, and have a great rest of your day.